Good evening. It is the Viper Squadron podcast. With me is Mr. Patrick
Hello.
right there. Um, Tonight we were going to talk about the A Wing, the Resistance A Wing, and the Mining Guild tie articles that came out. Um, I guess first the A Wing. I don't know if you saw the all the model and everything. Did you see the model, Patrick?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, looks like they kind of stretched out the nose.
Yeah, it looks like when you look at someone that's like lost a little too much weight, you're like, yeah, you know,
I get it. A
it's
little
thinned
thinner.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, because they did say that the difference on it is they had to streamline it a little bit more, and the cannons, I guess, were thematically it was they would the A wings, the original the RZ1s, the cannons would jam and stuff. So
Um,
this new upgrade,
yeah,
they fixed it,
man.
and
But the chimps in the engineering lab figured that one out.
yep. Oh, these jam. So let's see, get them so they don't go all over the place.
Yeah, the
Uh,
Ewoks, I guess I should say.
yeah, probably have one cannon stuck one way and one the other way.
Yeah.
Stuff. So, yeah, because I guess those turrets are the turret cannons are on the really like the end of the wings kind of thing. But
Is it
yeah, if you look in
is
the
it like they're supposed to like flip around, or are there separate rear arc turret?
no, they're supposed to rotate,
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's
but
why.
like front and back because apparently the way it was talking about it was they're swiveling, but I don't know if it was just front or back. So uh,
It
because
seems
it
like
says it only can, from what I could see, is it only you only could shoot. No, I guess you have that rotating one. I don't see how it would be able to shoot left or right.
Oh no, it says in the refined gyro stabilizers that you can only rotate
Oh
your arc indicator only to the front of the room. So yeah, you want to be able to do left or right at all.
yeah. So um, just reading that real quick. Um, so yeah, so those ones on the end of the wings, they just flip back and forth, which kind of helps because I mean it gives that A wing that rear arc that it can shoot from,
Yeah, totally.
uh, which would
Well, I
be
mean, and I feel like rear arc, at least the way that I would try and use it, or the way that I've always been caught out, you know, in a bad position because someone else using it really well against me has always been like I don't see that range one rear arc shot coming. And I put it here because I'm only thinking about like the front arc. And then he's like, I'm expecting, like a three bank or a K turn or something. And then really they just do like a one hard. And all of a sudden I'm like staring straight into the rear arc or something, because I like chase off the other way. So I feel like that's probably, especially with the A Wing having that two primary, only, two attack dice. I feel like that, and the combination of that and the obviously the maneuverable dial that it's going to have, I feel like you could do some really good things with that, especially since it with that whole refined gyro stablers thing. Is the after you perform an action, you may perform a red boost or a red turret action. So like that's kind of, PTL built in sort of thing there. So
Right,
you could,
yeah, because you can get that boost or the rotate.
yeah, definitely make some magic happen there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I
and
mean,
that's
if
the
you,
only way you could do it.
yeah, I mean, well, I mean, if you got one of those higher initiatives like the fives, like Tally, who has the five stuff that because you're going to be able to already have everyone mainly move before
Mhm.
you, unless you have a lot of people that are, or have the bid or the is the player one or moves last, um, or somebody who's initiative six,
Mhm.
would only be the ones moving after you. But with that, it also gives you that option to where you've already seen where everyone's going to move, so you know where you're going to end up. Now you can have that option of, it might go ahead and maybe focus and then use um, that the gyro stabilizer thing, and now I can rotate my turret to the rear because now I have a choice of shooting the guy in front of me or shooting the guy and shoot the guy behind me.
Mhm.
So it gives you that option, especially since it's not like one of those ships where it has three out the front, the primary arc, and then two if you use the turret.
Yeah.
Their two attack is turret period. So you know that
Yeah.
would be
And two, with the A wing, because you have a three bank that's green, and then your four and your five straight are green or blue, whatever. Um, let's say, yeah, you've got your when your high pilot skills or just any ship, and there's that first engagement, and then let's say you take a solid shot and you lose all your shields or something, and you're like, oh crap. But let's say you dish it out and you can use you know that one hard turn and then you know do a focus and then link or refine gyro stablers to a turret action, turn it around. Then you get that rear shot, and then hopefully like, hey, it's like let's say you position it right to where you're shooting at them with that rear arc, but they can't shoot at you because y'all just passed each other. Then you can use that four or five straight to just get out of dodge, you know,
right.
and regain your composure, if you will, really easily, and clear that stress that you picked up from that refined gyro stablers, and do another boost or whatever just to get away and kind of reset. You know.
Right. And the thing about it is there's only three red moves on the whole dial. The three sloops and a 5K.
Yeah,
So
that's
without
solid.
using that red action, that red free action, those are the only other ways you get stress. With that rear arc, doesn't I mean it allows you not to have to worry about flipping around all the time.
Yeah,
You know, um, you could just keep going, make the other guy chase you.
yeah,
You just keep popping them out from the rear.
yeah.
But then what? All the twos, three bang, three straight, four straight, and five straight, all blue.
Mhm. And you
And
can you can do a lot with all when the dials are all your twos are blue. Like you can do a lot with that. When you
yeah,
have
because
a ship that has boost and barrel roll, like you can do a lot with that.
right. But if you do, let's say you've already turned it to the back. Now I'm stressed. Well, now I'm going to throw out a blue two hard turn. So there it goes, removes that stress. So it really didn't even matter that you took the stress the one before because you
Mhm.
didn't get it until after you'd already done an action.
Yeah.
So you didn't lose that action economy at the beginning. But now you've just cleared that stress, so now you can do your action. Oh, and then now I can do another boost if that'll get me a better shot on somebody and take the red because next round I'm going to lose this stress anyways.
Yeah.
More than likely, I'm going to do one of those things that's going to give me a blue move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and kind of like what you were saying, um, with just like, hey, first engagement, cool, then you flip your arc around, you have a solid dial, you have a solid, you know, your three banks are green, right, or blue, and 4 5s blue, right, all of that. So you've got the distance to clear the stress and create enough distance to probably keep some lesser maneuverable ships right behind you, you know, keep them right where you want them type of thing.
Right, but then think about this: like, even if you go first engage, the first turn, you go ahead and flip that thing around to the rear.
Mm.
You know, but on that first time, you move out a little bit far. Well, the second time, instead of you guys like being really close, man, you use that 5 straight and you just pass him. He can't
Yeah.
shoot you, but first engagement, you're shooting at them out your rear.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
and someone flying like Fenn, you know, not see that coming, and then now, you know, let's say, because I mean, I fly Fenn, and I that Concordia face off built in. You're like, all right, I'll take a range one showdown, absolutely, and then all
right,
of a sudden, oh crap! Not only I can't shoot you, but also let's say I was depending. Let's say I took a target lock, right,
right.
instead of a focus because I was depending on that Concordia face off to trigger, and then now all of a sudden I don't have anything. I'm rolling naked. Like you could really hurt. You could take out Finn like that. You
Yeah,
know.
because you think you could just pass him, get in a range one shot. Now you got 3 dice you're throwing at him.
Yeah.
You
Or
know,
you know, Tie fighters. Yeah, another, you know, any of those kind of glass cannon ships just
yeah,
gone.
TIE fighters, even X wings. Any of those, you could just shoot right past them, and then that's it. Um, and then where's my? And then if you even have the prime thrusters on it, the prime thruster says while you have 2 or fewer stress tokens, you can perform a boost or a barrel roll action even while stressed.
Right.
So even if you have um, that you had to do a 5K turn, well, now you're stressed.
Mm.
You can do this barrel roll even while I'm stressed because it's already on my action bar, right? Well, now I've
Yeah.
performed an action. Can I now do a boost and then gain another stress?
Yeah. Well, and then
You see where it
boost.
kind of weird?
Yeah, boot like do the 5K or one of the three sloops, and then you can boost your range one right behind someone. You know, uh,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And
It's
then rotate
a
your
lot you
arc,
can do. Yeah,
point
there's
it
a
right
lot
at
you can
them.
do. Now, advanced sensors. That's a sensor, the little like radar dish thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking like prime throwing advanced sensors in there, but you won't be able to do that with I was getting ahead of myself. Or
But if you do the advanced sensors, that just gives you the action before, right?
yeah, yeah,
So really, would it? This is one of those ships that really wouldn't even need it because it doesn't matter. You put that prime thrusters on it, and that's it. And what do we have? The prime thrusters. What's the cost for the prime thrusters? Do you remember?
no, I don't. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, because I mean, would that be cheaper? So it kind of really makes it easier so you don't even have to worry about doing all that.
Wait. The thing. This app, bro.
Oh, you know you love the app.
Huh?
So I know you love
I'm
that.
trying to find out what the cost of that thing is, but probably not going to tell me. Because I don't. I'm just going to get frustrated with it. I don't know.
Why yours not working?
Well, don't the. I'm not familiar with it enough to be able to just like look up something like that. Because it's like how they built it, you know, it's. You can't. You have to like build a list and then add a ship just to look through, you know, the different slots, the options. You know what I mean? Like you can't
You mean
like
like what slots each pilot gets?
yeah, but then just browse the cards within that slot. So like browse the different torpedoes you can get or browse the different
Well, no,
configurations or whatever.
they have a function on there in the front where it says the new squad, save squad, my collection. They have the card database,
Yeah, I uh, okay, let's try
and
that. Upgrade card. Choose upgrade. Sensor, right? That's what it is.
what's that?
Sensor.
What is the prime
The
thrusters?
oh no, that's the
No, that's the tech slot.
yeah, text slot. I really also I wish that you could I wish that they still had the I mean I get it. I understand why, but like okay, so yep, search.
You getting nothing?
Nope. Yep, you get nothing.
I wonder if they updated that upgrade points list on the page because it's not on the resistance one. Because I have that one right here in my lap, so they only
Well,
have that for the tech. They only have that ferrosphere paint. Man, the app on my iPad just does not work. Look at that.
I mean, even then, when you look it up, it doesn't tell you the point costs of the card.
Oh, when you pull it up on the app,
Yeah. Well, and I've noticed that the point costs things cost different for different ships.
well,
Have you
that's
noticed that?
only on those ones that they have that are dependent on the like one of the upgrades is dependent on what size base it has, and the other one is depends on what your attack value is.
So,
Let's
so
see,
when I was
Prime
doing this the other
Thrusters.
day, I had a Star Viper. The shield upgrade for it was like 8 points, but then the Hawk, the shield upgrade was 6 points. Is that because of
Right,
the attack
because
value then?
the shield goes by the agility value. So how
Okay,
many defense dice you roll? Because the what'd you say, the Star Viper had
yeah,
3,
three
so
and
that's why
one.
it's 8, and then the Hawk has 2, that's why it's
That's
6.
two. Okay,
I mean, shit, even if you had 0, it'd still be 3.
yeah. Is that just specific cards that
Yeah,
do that?
the whole upgrade, shield upgrade, and stealth device. Those 3 are variable points, and
Oh,
then
okay.
and that's based on the agility. but the engine upgrade and expert handling is dependent on the size of your base.
Okay. Okay. But back to the trying to figure out the point values. You can't figure out the point values unless you go make a list, right? But then
Well,
you
you're right.
have to know what ship has that slot and then add it to the list just so you can go and scroll and find it and then actually find that's the only way I know of so far to find the actual point values
Yeah,
so far. You know?
I mean, I see that. I understand. Because you're right. On the card database, it shows the actual physical card,
Yeah.
like you would have. Yeah, and that's it. But okay, well, according to the points list, the Prime Thusters is 8 points.
Okay, so it's up there.
Yeah, so I mean, even advanced sensors, if you had that and that was available for it, it's only 8 points too. So I think the Prime Thrusters I would work a little bit better.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was getting carried away with, you know,
Getting a bunch of
oh,
actions.
yeah.
Yeah,
You could definitely
yeah,
make some things work with that there ship, that there A-wing.
yeah. I mean, they got some crazy stuff. That did you see the Ferrosphere paint? What that does
Mhm.
to it?
Yeah, that's cool.
After an enemy ship locks you, if you are not in that ship's bullseye, that ship gains 1 stress token.
I mean, I could really like if you were doing, uh, like a swarm of A-wings or something, or a swarm of things that have the tech slot. That could really screw up someone's game if they've got that's like a hard counter to an ordnance build,
Yeah,
torps
I mean, if
or
you have, or you
missiles.
even have the stuff that requires a target lock
Yeah.
for you to fire them, missiles or whatnot, then or torpedoes, whatever it is. If you're dependent on that, thinking that's gonna turn the tide in your favor, but then you go up against this guy who has this, and he has an A wing with this thing. Can you imagine if all he has to do is use that other thing where he boosts out of your bullseye just enough. He can still be in your firing arc, but just not in your bullseye, and then you get stressed.
Well, I mean, even then, so like, let's say you've got as many, you try and fit, you know, all the A-wings, right? As many as you can get on there. They could be like super low cost ones. Doesn't matter. So you do that. You set them up where you come in at weird angles. Because if you come in at weird angles, it's really freaking hard to get people in your bullseye, because you can't, it's a game of angles, right? Unless they come in at weird angles, you know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's like the bank is going to put you on, what is it? However many degrees, it's all anywhere 45 degrees basically change, right?
Well,
Uh,
45 is the turn.
that's 90.
Or I'm sorry, 90 degrees, and
Yeah, so
then
45.
yeah, it's
Right.
about somewhere in there.
So if you came in at some weird angle, right, it'd be a lot easier, let's say for your low cost A wings, to not be in your bullseye arc. And they either don't target lock and then forfeit doing, their opening salvo of stuff, or they get all stress tokens. You still have 3 of 8. Maybe you're at range 4 or range 3, so you're rolling 4 dice, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, highly maneuverable ships. All right, cool. Well, now they all have stress tokens, which means they're probably going to do something green or blue. And then you do what you were saying earlier with that whole turret thing.
Yeah.
And now hey, they're going to do a nice, easy 1, 2 straight or bank or something like that. All right, I'll do a 4 or 5 forward green, and then turn my turret around. And now they can't shoot me, and I can shoot them.
Right.
And it's like maybe that's the rest of the game is their whole game just falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it really suck when you're playing a game and I'm sorry, you kind of cut out there. But when you start a game and you're all, I'm going to get it in that first engagement, and it just like they just wreck one of your ships, and you're like, I'm fucked for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
I hate that when you start on, you're all confident and stuff, and just wreck
Yeah.
up one of your ships. But when you're saying the cheap A wing is 32 points, and if you put that
Okay.
paint on it, then it makes it 38.
Okay.
But then
So
the only other slot you have for that is a missile slot.
so you can fit 4 with missiles?
For, I mean, really, you could get 5.
Could you? Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm doing
without the
I'm doing
missiles,
dumb math.
depending on how much the missiles are. Let's see. What do we have for some missiles?
Do you
Missiles. The cheapest one is the homing missiles is just 3, so that'd be 41. Yeah, you'd only be able to get 4
okay.
because you
Or
couldn't
just
get 5 because that would take you 205.
yeah, or just don't do missiles. 5 ships, even if it I mean you look at a TIE swarm, like 5 ships,
5
even though
ships
you
and 2 of
got
them have missiles.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or you do 5 ships, no missiles, but you do one of them is when you're higher your ace pilots, you know.
yeah. One of your other ones, yeah, like you can do Tally, who is like a 35, which is 3 points more.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're good at bringing your forces together at the same time to where, hey, now all of a sudden that big beefy Millennium Falcon or whatever it is, all of a sudden you have 5 little gnats at range 1 rolling 3 dice. It's like that hurts.
Yeah, and look, like even Tally, her thing. This is only once per round because she only gets that one. Um, it says while an enemy ship is in your bullseye, performs an attack. So if you have those swarms, and you have Tally as your one ace in there, and you're in her bullseye, she can spend a charge, and the defender rolls an additional dice or additional die. So
Yeah.
if the rest of them are A wings, now they have 4.
Yeah.
4 defense dice. And then hell, if you're in range 3, that defender's in range 3. Now he has 5.
Yeah.
I would definitely be able to
Um,
get it to miss some shots.
yeah. I mean, in five A wings is really hard to pin down,
4
if you will.
B20. Then there's 4 hit points total that to take one out. I mean, theoretically, you could, one round take out a ship. But with all those other things that you could do with it, it'd be kind of tough. You'd have to really be choosy on or picky on which one you're going to go after first. For something
Yeah.
like this, if you had all those generics, you have 4 generics in Tally, you'd have to get rid of Tally first.
Yeah.
Because that whole putting that additional die, if you're in her bullseye, and how easy would it be because she would move last to, bounce her around, use the barrel roll and then a boost, to for her to get you in her bullseye. just so that attacker or that defender can get that, 4 or 5 dices to roll.
Well, and too, if that EPT, it's kind of the heroic, that's it's pretty awesome because that's like the worst case scenario to roll 2 blanks, and now you can re-roll them. Whenever you defend or perform an attack, if you have any blank results and have 2 or more, I mean, and that's really good too with that having only 2 attack dice. With the A-wing, it's like it's the worst when you're like, yeah, 2, maybe I get 1. You roll just blanks, and you're like,
Yeah. But see, if you had to do the EPT or the talent slot, you couldn't use that Blue Squadron recruit. You'd have to use the minimum would be the Green Squadron expert. But even that, with that paint, still only takes it right at the 40 points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only with like, just away from the whole like A-wing swarm, but just taking tally with your other other rebel ships and stuff.
Right. And even that whole heroic one says defend or perform an attack. And it's perform an attack, it does not say a primary attack.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's true.
If you only have two attack die, throw them out there, that odds of getting blanks, when your dice ain't good, you're rolling those 2 blanks, and then it's like, never mind. But now with that, you can re-roll those 2 and have 2 or more results. You may re-roll any number of your dice. It says if you have only blank results and have 2 or more results. So, like, even if you had to roll those 3 defense dice and you get all blanks, you can re-roll all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just only if you get like the weapons failure crit or something like that, where you're only rolling 1 dice.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that would be like the only occurrence of that happening with this ship, because you got 3 agility. So is there a crit that takes away an agility dice? Even if there is,
there is one.
100% there's not one that takes away 2.
What's that?
I said I'm 100% there's not one that takes away 2.
Right.
So you're not getting the 1 green dice.
Right, you're gonna still at least shoot 2.
Yeah, I mean, and the other, okay, you get weapons failure. Well, if you take a crit with an A-wing, I mean, you're already in trouble. So
yeah, especially if you hit 2 crits and you have that fuel leak and then direct hit.
Yeah, well, 2 crits, you're done with an A-wing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that heroic upgrade, 1 point.
All right. Okay.
I mean,
that's something
I'm
you can work with.
You're gonna probably see that on it because most of the A-wings, all the A-wings have 2 talent slots.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can be doing that, and then take the heroic just for that 1 point.
Yeah.
And then take whatever else you'd want to. Let's see what else we got. Shit, you even put elusive on there.
Well, and I think too that if they had made it too much more expensive, then you wouldn't see heroic, because it's like it's a conditional. Hold on, my cat's freaking out. Trying to get out of the room.
Go shoot the cat. Empty cat.
Oh.
I don't like it.
Do what?
That's why I don't do animals.
No, yeah. Yeah. But like it's a conditional talent card, so it's like, okay, it's that just in case. It's not like others where they give you a reroll, when you attack or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, okay, so it's like, okay, yeah, the just in case, and you're searching for what else to put in your list, and you've got 1 point left, or you're sitting at 197, 198 points trying to finish off that list. And you're like, okay, yeah, no, just in case, I could
I'll put
totally
this on
take
there.
that for 1 point.
I mean, it's like somebody who has like munitions failure. You put that on there just in case you miss.
Yeah,
Just in case you blank out, you don't lose that charge. You get that back. You
yeah.
know,
I mean, if
so
it's too much more
and
expensive,
that's
you
only two
wouldn't have
point.
put it on there.
So yeah. I mean, I completely understand. Or even like those people that put crack shot on there. The 1 point crack shot.
Crack shot's
And
freaking awesome, though.
oh god, yes, it is. And you get
Well,
some TIE fighters with crack shot that helps them out every time.
yeah. Well, I mean, because it's instead of with crack shot, it's like instead of using it as like a just in case card, you use it as like your finisher card. 'Cause how many times there's that one ship that just gets away with 1 health. I mean, like I've won games with all of my ships at 1 health left, or the dude just had crack shot. It's like, and
Yeah,
now it's dead.
I know.
You know,
I know. You run Fenn around with one
yeah,
hole left.
yeah,
If I would have had crack shot on that ship, you could have taken you out that first round.
yeah. No, one of my favorite things was the the old Andrew in the first edition, and you'd give him concussion missiles. So you put him over there. So with the concussion missiles and then Andrew's skill of like, no friendlies within 1 to 2, you get an extra dice. So you're rolling 5 dice, guidance chips, and then either crack shot, which it's like, all right, 5 dice with guidance chips, concussion missiles turns, what was it? It turns 1 to a hit automatically or something like
Right.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you did the math, and you're almost all of the time you're getting 5 hits, right? All right, so it's like I had a friend that would run that in back when it was like Soontir or something. I mean, he just would kill aces just outright with it because it's like, all right, cool, yeah, it's 5 hits, and you roll 3 dice, and you evade 2 of them. You had a good roll, crack shot. You're done. Just
Yep.
going, you know.
Yeah. Now that all these point lists are out, it gets me a little more excited for that next one to come out because I can get my list ready to go.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
then
gonna I'm gonna see how long I can make it with my Star Vipers as they are.
because I know I want to try a couple of these lists, with the first order because I want to see how that silencer is going to do, or even the SF ties.
Yeah.
I mean, what the FO, I mean, the TIE fighters are going to be like. So, but those other ones, depending on how they're going to fly, those are going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. But somebody had put on there like they had said, "Oh, you can fit Kylo and Quick Draw and Midnight in a list together." So they're all excited about that. That would be an ugly one,
Yeah.
but
What is
well, we have to get into all the abilities of the Midnight and the Quick
yeah,
Draw
you'd
and
have
the
to
Kylo.
explain everything to me for that.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but I
just
mean,
I believe you.
but on those 3 ships, you're taking the highest cost pilot.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know, the TIE fighter is a 44. The SF TIE fighter is a 45, and then the silencer's 82.
Mm.
And they
What
had the
about
points
this?
for Supreme Leader Snoke as a crew card. It's a double slot like Palpatine is.
Mm.
Um, and it costs 13.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Lots of points.
What's that?
I said there's lots of points.
Yeah, 13 points. I couldn't even, because even just looking at like the shuttle, which is going to be the only one with a crew slot, it has 3 crew slots.
Mm.
The Epsilon shuttle. It comes with 1 system, 2 tech, a cannon, 3 crew, and a modification. All of them have that.
Do you know if they're coming out with any new cannons anytime soon?
What? Oh, you mean just the cannons that they can put on it?
Yeah, it's
Um,
just period.
no, I don't know of any of that are going to be coming out, and they haven't leaked any that are new that are coming or anything. So,
So that's something
uh,
that I'm not impressed with myself.
well, with some of the
Really.
cannons,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like HLC with it only being Bullseye, which I get. I think it's cool. Um, I just haven't found a way to throw it in there yet, but I haven't really looked at it either. But like all the other ones, there's not. They're not like attacky. I guess that's just me. I like
well,
attack,
well, the
like
only ones that
aggressive
really,
sort of.
well, the only ones you're going to get damage with is that HLC and then the ion cannon. The
Yeah,
tractor beam and jamming beams, you get jams and jamming tokens or tractor tokens. I mean, the ion
yeah,
cannon, you get ion cannons. I mean, ion tokens too. But I mean, that's really the only one that'll like telegraph where you're going. Next round, I mean, tractor beam, of course. Yeah, move your ass
yeah.
around.
I mean, and it's not like I'm not saying like the cannons that they have are bad. I'm saying that for how I build lists, I don't I don't ever do that. Like I just like simple lists that like hit hard, that like just kill things and
Yeah,
don't do all these like fancy things because it's just too much for me to keep up with, and I forget my triggers, and then I get angry with myself, and then the game just goes to crap on me, and
yeah. It's one of those things that really sucks is when you're playing a game and you forget the triggers on upgrade cards. You know, I
yeah,
always have a problem. That's why I always try to practice with the list before I try to do it on like even a league game or a tournament or whatnot, just so I could try to remember those triggers every time.
yeah,
And
yeah. There's some really complicated ones out there, lists and stuff.
yeah, play Chris.
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. It's like you need like a order of battle just to. It's like it like
An
makes
engagement
me
chart.
yeah like makes me think of the people playing 40K when they have their like psychic phase like okay, this spell into this spell into this spell, and it's like all written out, and it's like so much preparation beforehand.
Right.
And I don't know. Yeah, I just tend to go away from those because I just want things to be simple, I guess, for myself, because I forget things and then I get angry. And I don't want to be angry, so I just do simple things.
Yeah, I'm getting more to where I'm liking it more when there's like maybe 2, 3 at the most cards on upgrade cards on some on a ship, just because. And try to use the same kind of upgrades on each ship.
Right.
So there's not as much to remember. Like, oh, this ship has this gunner or this crew, and then this one has this or this, or
Yeah.
because try to keep them all the same. Maybe like you got one that's got a cannon on it or something, mm, but I mean, like I've been getting more towards that. Like I did my best, like in a league when each of my ships had, um, like I was flying defenders, and I had um, the the tidy title and the ion cannon with it. You know, those are easy triggers because the tidy just says you can shoot twice if you use the, you know, use the ion cannon first.
Yeah.
So I throw the ion every time. It's ion cannon first, and then then my primary attack, and those were the easy triggers for
Yeah.
that. And then my third ship was, an Upsilon shuttle, which that's just, and that I flew it as a Star Killer base, and that was it, the Star
Mhm.
Killer base pilot,
Yeah.
and there was no upgrades on it. So, um, yeah, that ship actually did some damage. I mean that list did some damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
That's
like the
that's the list I had that I was running on that league where my name got up on the plaque.
okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like the list I had at the last tournament. It was just two Star Vipers without maneuver, and then Finn with Fearless. And I think Guri had whole upgrade. That's it. That's all it was. It was like the easiest thing. All I had to do was fly it, you know, and just like
Right.
remember outmaneuver. It's like Finn. It's too
Outmaneuver.
easy.
Right. I mean, you just, so for you had the outmaneuver, your pilot ability, and your ship ability, and that was all you had to worry about. You
Yep.
know.
I mean, and those are easy enough too because it's like, oh yeah, Guri range one, cool, extra focus. And then Finn, it's like Finn only does one thing, get in your face and hit you really hard. So that's everything is focused around that. So it's like you're setting that up the whole game. So yeah, you're not gonna forget that trigger,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Um. Guess we kind of got away from the A wing. We started talking about everything else,
Slightly.
as usual. Um. All right. So let's see. Let's see if we can get back on track. So the only other thing they show on there is like proton rockets that they have,
Okay.
where the 5 dice bullseye, range 1 or 2. You must have a focus, and you get one shot. You can use it one time because you get one charge, and you have to spend that charge to shoot it. To me, if I have some rockets like that, I like them more when I have more than one shot. You know,
Yeah. But
because there's just a lot that could just go away in a heartbeat. Because that's one of those ones where you could just straight up blank out. I mean,
yeah.
statistically, you're probably not going to do that often, but
Well,
you know,
just and like with the lack of guidance chips in this edition, it's like that was the thing that got so many uses of ordnance over the edge. It's like, oh, I could blank out, but it's like prockets. You keep your focus. You know, and let's say you could set it up where you have target lock and a focus. So you target lock, keep your focus, and you've got guidance chips. You're good, right?
yeah,
This one, it's like okay, only in a bullseye. They did extend the range out to one, range 1 to 2, which is good, but it's only the bullseye. But yeah, then it's like you don't have guidance chips, and so yeah, you really got to set up that target lock in the focus. And even then, I mean, that's still pretty difficult to statistically get 5 hits. Convert all 5 dice.
right. But I mean, even if you have the right stuff on that ship, I mean, this is one the proton rockets are one of the ones that I don't ever use because it's hard to get. How many times in a game are you going to get somebody in your bullseye? You know, unless you have something like this A wing where you can actually reposition a couple times. You know, hey, I moved. You're not quite in it. Okay, well, I'm going to boost to get you in it, or I'm going to barrel roll to get you in it. I mean, unless
Yeah,
you have one of those ships that can reposition, I mean, you could barrel roll and then boost and still get and then get somebody in your firing in your bullseye to
yeah,
use this. But again, one time
yeah.
because
And
I was on A wing, I would want to be able to use it at least two times.
yeah, well, I mean, it becomes like it has to be that thing that you finish the ship off with.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot it's a lot scarier, you know, because yeah, you only get one shot, but again, you don't have that guidance chips. So it's like, okay, cool. Let's say you're going up against a 2 agility or a 3 agility dice ship, you know, and it's like, cool, you roll 5, but you only convert to 3. Let's say he's only got 2 health left, and the dude rolls an evade and a focus, and he has a focus, so he burns the focus, and boom, you didn't kill him. Now you just wasted your whole rockets. It's like, and now you're doing the whole dance for the rest of the game with your 2 primary attack, and the dude has three agility or something like that. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely causes you to look elsewhere for different builds.
Yeah. Just because those are one of the ones that, like I said, I would think it'd be better if it had two charges at least.
Yeah, no, totally. I think that would be really good, and
um,
not like really good, like overpowered because of the bullseye. If
right.
if it was full front arc and only one charge, but range 1 to 2, now we're talking a different story.
Well, yeah, because you go from having an A wing who has two attack dice to five. You know, that's
And
a
yeah,
big difference.
I mean, it's
You
so
know,
much
and
easier to
then
set that guy up too.
even if you have that, I mean, well, I mean, the only person that would get the could have been able to get the range bonus would have been you anyways, but you wouldn't even need that, so you know they're not going to be getting any extra dice.
Mhm.
And so whatever their agility is, if you could use that then, and it's just
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just the bullseye and with the one charge, it's just I don't think is enough. The
yep,
full arc it would be a good finisher because you could definitely you know screw up a ship at the end if they've already had a couple damage on it with that five dice attack. So or shit, you might even one shot a Tie Fighter or something.
yeah. I feel like I've noticed a trend so far that the things that used to be like really good in first edition, it almost seems like they've overcorrected a lot of that stuff. So the things that used to be really good now are like not even close to being good at all. It's like, and then the things that were like mediocre either like maintain mediocrity or they like got a little bit better. So now those are the good things because all the really good things just got like slashed. And I feel like that, like right there, like a subtle difference between either 2 charges or you keep it 1 charge, range 1 to 2, which is good, but then open it up to full arc. Like the subtle difference between like if you made that full arc rather than bullseye, just that one change, that's like a completely different card, completely different card. You
Right,
know,
I agree.
and it's like something like that where I feel like it was probably just like overcorrected because it's just that subtle difference. And like, all right, full arc of bullseye. Well, I mean, come on, it's Brockets, so let's make a bullseye, make it a little bit harder for him. And then in effect, they end up just killing the card, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's some of the stuff where like they've adjusted so much for um, some ships. Like I personally never bought a TIE Punisher
Mm,
because it was worthless, pretty much in first edition.
yep,
And now I don't have one, and now it's really good. You
yep,
know, so um, I mean, some of those things that are like that. I mean, you would see. I mean, like Miranda, even now is even not as good as it was before.
mm.
And
Yeah, like the jump master. Like
yeah,
there's no hope for the jump master right now, at all. From that I can see.
well, yeah. Other than when they do their first adjustments in January. January I think is when they said they were gonna do the first adjustments on the app. Oh, excuse me. So they could even change the slots, change points costs on everything, on upgrades, on pilots. So they might drop down the points on something like a jump master. So it'd be even more feasible to have it in a list because it's cheaper and you could do a lot more with that than something else.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. I I think though, and let's because they haven't released anything about the points right yet. It's going to be in January completely, like no
right.
leaks or anything.
No, they have no leaks.
Here's my prediction. Okay, my prediction is that because of how OP the jump master was forever, like the Dengar Finn nastiness, because of just how disgustingly nasty that was for such a long time. Or like Intel, like all the other, like the Jump Master was just so good, right? Because of that, because of its like reign of terror, it still will not be touched very much. Because my prediction is that they'll be too scared of letting that happen again. That's basically
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I don't see him being that viable anyways until they re-release the ship.
Yeah, I mean they just nuked the crap out of it. So
Yeah. I mean, some other ships you would see. I mean, like how many ghosts do you see on the table right now?
yeah, we didn't see any at the
We,
tournament.
yeah, the last tournament we had, we didn't have any. Um, how many Falcons do we see?
None.
How
And
many
that
Outriders
was
do we see? None.
one, I think.
Who?
No, no. That was a game that I saw before the tournament. So no.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't see anybody with it. We
That
saw.
seemed like a pretty good list though. That Outrider dash.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the point. I mean, before the points on that is so high,
Yeah,
because
and
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like the good stuff got overcorrected,
right,
because of
yeah,
the fear of letting it still be good or something like that.
right. Like, how do you justify Dash as being 100 points naked? Personally, I think it's funny because Austin would run the Dash in 1.0 all the time, and it was like his thing, you know. But
Yeah,
now we haven't seen him run it because he's so damn overpriced.
I'm glad that my favorite ship is not something that's like was super meta. The Star Viper.
Uh huh.
I feel like there's a lot of I feel like it's extremely underappreciated, and therefore I'm glad because Star Viper got a whole lot better in second edition.
Oh,
It didn't get nuked.
it
So
definitely
my
got better.
favorite ship is solid, and I'm very happy with that.
Yep, I agree. I think they went to above to overprice the defenders.
Yeah.
I mean, I
How much are
loved
they?
flying the defenders, and they're just too overpriced right now.
The thing though, the thing with the, and I'm not saying it should be, I'm not saying it's not overpriced, but the defend with what was so annoying about the defender is that it was like to fly against. Was that it's like the most it was the most like forgiving ship to fly. It's like just all the tokens all the time. Just don't do a 1 to 2 speed and you're good. You're
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, the Kayak
Yeah.
7. Yeah, yeah. 3, 4,
Yeah.
5 speed. You do it almost every time unless you absolutely had to for any other reason, had to do a 1 or a 2,
Yeah.
you
But I
know?
mean, it's like that I never saw like flying against Andrew where he'd have the 3 tie defenders.
Right.
It was just so frustrating because it's like no matter what he did, he always ended up with all the tokens, you know, all of the turning around so that there's at least 1 or 2 ships that I can't shoot at, but he can shoot at me.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my gosh, this is.
Yeah, because
But
I loved it because I always
anyways,
flew with Countess Ryad because every straight
mm,
maneuver could be a K turn,
yeah,
and I loved it because you would just move her around because like I might have dialed in a 3 straight, but now after seeing where you moved,
yeah, that's huge.
K turn would be shit ton better. So I'd
Yeah,
flip over and do a K turn, you know. But I mean, but see now like the lowest price defender 72 points.
yeah, that's stupid. Because that's hold on, that's Finn, isn't it?
That's what?
Finn. Let me see. Yeah, hold on. Finn Rao, just straight Finn Rao, 68 points. Like
Yeah, see that
that's stupid.
where
Oh
is
man. Yep. See, overcorrection. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
I'm saying.
because where is Finn? Where is he? Where is my Fang fighter?
Yeah, when you're the best pilot, easily one of the best pilots in the game, the best pilot of Scum, and probably the best, or at least considered the best ship in Scum, is costs less
Then the
than
lowest price
the
defender.
lowest price defender. That's ridiculous. I
I
s-
agree.
yeah, that's not even yeah, that's not right at all.
Yeah. What else do
I
you
don't
put
know.
on Finn? What do you usually put on him?
I man, I get so much out of just doing fearless. And
See,
I think
even Finn
that's
with Fearless is still a point cheaper than a Delta Squadron defender, which is crazy.
yeah. So yeah, Finn because fearless. Yeah, 3 points. Oh my god! And see, the great thing about it is like, so old edition, I would never run fearless, and that's kind of like the aggressive Finn build, I guess, or it was supposed to be. It's what came with the Protectorate Starfighter pack. Um, it's like I would never run fearless or anything else. I would only run push the limit because 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 yeah,
Why not?
um, and even though fearless was 1 point, push the limit 3 points, you know, and but now because push the limit is kind of baked into the card already, baked into the ship. It's like I get a free fearless in there, so now it's like even then, yeah, okay, you can't do a barrel roll and a boost in 1 turn, but plan a little bit better, and now you got fearless, and now like that range one in your face shot from Finn is just that much more terrifying. You know?
Right. Look, even if I notice on the point cost for Vader naked 70 points. That 2 is still 2 points cheaper than a Delta Squadron pilot. That's freaking Darth Vader. That's like the best pilot in the Empire.
See, man, like it's like they punished the good things. It's like they went further than trying to like tweak it. It's not tweaking. That's like punishment. That's like you're sent to the gulags in Siberia for a time, because you were too good. You were too, you know, you were too showed too much initiative there, okay?
Right. And now like even the points how it is right now, like a Lander class shuttle, it's viable. A lot of people fly on.
Mm-hmm.
Now I see more Landa shuttles now than I did before. So and it's
Well,
crazy. Just go ahead.
I was gonna say that I wonder because I know that I just remember like one of the complaints that I heard a lot were that the iconic Star Wars ships were not playable. Like your B wings and your Y wings,
And that's one of the reasons why
right?
the whole revamp, because they had
Yeah,
to do stuff to get them back on. Because I mean, how do you have a huge tournament called X-wing and there's no X-wings on the table?
yeah.
you
So
know,
I mean,
and if
I
they
wonder.
are the resistance ones, like it's Poe. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, they're not even a real X-wing. Yeah, there's no
yeah, you
Luke
don't see no Luke.
Skywalker on.
You don't see Luke. You don't see Biggs. You don't see Wedge. Once they nerfed Biggs, you never saw his ass on the
Yeah, and
table.
he was a part of every list, every Rebel list, like Biggs,
Yeah,
Miranda, and what, like Ahsoka or Biggs and uh, Cornhorn and Ahsoka.
yeah, yeah, just some of the because like even me when I first started playing and I had Biggs, I put him on there, on the Rebels when I was flying some Rebels to begin with, and I loved it.
Yeah,
Oh, shoot at me, and you can't shoot at anyone else, you
yeah,
know. And then it says, oh, you only can do that if you know, one time or whatever the nerf was. Because once that happened, I was like, I'm not even playing him anymore. So, and you didn't even see him anymore after that. You would at the beginning, but then after that, people figure out it's not even worth it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
but
mean,
yeah,
it's amazing. Good.
I said I think the points stuff, is just crazy because they did take this stuff and make them so expensive or so cheap, bounce it around because even like the decimator, you used to see those on the table. We don't see them anymore. And why? Because the lowest price one is 80 points. You know, I mean, how many times did somebody
Which
have a
is
rack?
which is a lot better than Dash.
Yeah, 20 points lower than Dash.
Uh,
For that 20
anyway,
points, there's a whole lot of upgrades on that bar that I could put on there. Just to match a naked Dash. But that
yeah,
little thing like Dash would ignore the obstacles.
yeah.
The new Vulture droids in Clone Wars ones, they just walk over them. They ignore them too. They just walk right over them. They don't have to
Well,
suffer no effects.
this might be a good segue, but the guild mine guild, whatever,
Oh, the
TIE
Mining Guild,
fighter,
TIE Fighter, yeah. And
their
that,
whole
with
thing.
it being able to, hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Where are we at?
While you move, you ignore asteroids. So now that means not debris fields, right? Specifically, like just
Right,
specifically.
and ignore asteroids while moving.
But still, that's awesome.
So if you know who you're playing and you know your opponent is going to fly one of these mining guilds, throw debris clouds in there.
Yes.
But I mean, you
Well,
can't do that for like tournaments or whatnot, or even right at the beginning because you don't even know who's going to actually fly it. So,
and I mean, even then, like if you're flying these, then all asteroids. That's still a guarantee of 3 asteroids out there that you can just walk over. You know, like
yeah,
a TIE mining guild swarm that can ignore asteroids.
let's see. The Mining Guild TIE Fighter Century, the lowest priced one, 24 points. You can fit 8 of them.
Okay. Okay. I was thinking. Okay. So 12 points, old edition, which is the same as the. Is that the same as the Imperial TIE fighter?
Imperial TIE Fighter, the lowest cost is 23.
Okay.
So the 23 for the Academy pilot, but the Obsidian Squadron pilot is 24.
Okay.
You know, and they each get it gets a modification slot, and that's the only slot it gets. So
Yeah,
even
that's a lot of things that can ignore asteroids.
yeah,
It's a lot of TIE fighters.
yeah, it definitely could. Um, like what else would you be able to put on it? Keep it low. Well, there's not even a modification that's 1 point. So you could keep 8 of them on there with a modification on every one of them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you could fly 7 and put a hull upgrade on each one.
I really hope they don't get carried away with this whole with the whole asteroids and obstacles thing. Like you said, the thing that can walk over the ones or whatever you
Right.
said.
Yeah, the vulture droids.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. This is a little different, but it's like to me it makes me think of early wave stuff in the first edition, and then they started inventing all these new maneuvers and stuff like that like the tie interceptors and stuff never saw, and that's part of the reason why those ships never saw the light of day after certain waves. You know, what I'm saying is like, oh, they don't get carried away to the point that it makes certain things just obsolete. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
Or
mean, I
it
like
or it takes away to the point where like asteroids for some people are just on the table. It doesn't even matter. Because I think that's such a great part of the game is that, judging that distance and everything, and you're like, okay, well, no, I boost here, boom. He can't do this because of this rock. It's like you consider where the asteroids are in basically everything you do. That's how you set up your shots. That's how you guess where they're going to go. That determines where you're going to go. I just
yeah.
hope that they don't like negate it.
Well, I mean, I don't think that that's something that's going to be there because I mean, still, even though my ships might be able to go over them, I might be able to throw them out there because they're not going to hinder me. But you don't have that ship, so you're flying a whole different faction, so you have to maneuver around them.
Mhm.
You know, stuff like that. But that's when they also like in that next on the Clone Wars when they comes out, there's looks like there's new obstacles like ion clouds or something like that.
The magma
Like,
death clouds.
yeah, those big clouds of something, and those are like new obstacles. So, shit, you might even have an opponent to where that's all they bring.
That's true.
You bring 3 rocks, and you think you're gonna walk over them. Well, now I just bring 3 of those clouds, and now you have to try to figure out a way to get around those.
Yeah.
So it kind of evens it out a little bit. because now we have 3 different kinds of obstacles, that and the debris fields to worry about. And
Yeah.
yeah, and we don't even know what those clouds do to you, what the effects of those clouds are now. Because what do you get? Do you get, ion tokens if you have to go through them, or you get stressed? Do you get, what?
Yeah.
You know,
That is true. That is a very good point.
yeah,
Yeah, that said, while you move, you ignore obstacles. I would say that'd be OP.
right.
Right out of the box.
I mean, one thing that won't do is like trick shot. That's not going to take that away from you because it's still going to be obstructed. So
Mhm.
you get that extra die. So that's not going to work. That's not going to be effective. But yeah, when he says you ignore obstacles, then you would ignore that period. Then that would just be too much.
Yeah.
But on this mining guild tie, we since now we have the new updated points thing. The highest price one is 32. Um, and that's
That's
that
the
Foreman
Foreman
Approach.
approach.
Yeah. So where we had him as he is the initiative 4.
Hmm.
You know,
See, and you could
um,
go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just saying, like, if you ran Foreman approach with this Overseer Yushin, because the whole thing where you get a disarm token, and down here it says before friendly ship at range 1 would gain a disarm token. If that ship is not stressed, you may spend 1, blah blah blah. If you do, gain it. So it gets a stress token instead of disarm. So you give a tractor token, take a stress so that you can still shoot.
Yeah,
There's a little synergy going on there.
yeah, that would work. Before you engage, the form approach was it? Before you engage, you may choose an enemy ship in your bullseye at range 1 and 2, and gain 1 disarm token. If you do, that ship gains 1 tractor token. So, yeah, if you had those two together, and I'm going to now give you a tractor token, I'm going to gain a disarm, but instead with this guy, with the Overseer, now I'm going to get a stress token instead because he used that 1 charge.
Yeah.
And it's a it and it's a regenerative. So, you can get that charge back. So it's not like it's a
Yeah.
one time game um, mechanic.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
but it's once per round. In this doc I sent you, did you notice that one of the pilot cards is like reversed?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell happened on that. The picture I have saved of it is right, but when I transferred it into the Word doc, it flipped it around. Thought it was weird. I couldn't get it to. I don't know why it would do that. Um,
So this is kind of cool. So that the flipped around ship, was it Ahav? Ahav?
yeah, a Hav, something like that.
Yeah. So like medium and large base ships, he's throwing 3 to 4 dice for attack versus
Is a larger size than you roll 1 additional attack die. So it gets to run. It gets to roll 3 if you're a medium or a large base.
and it's defend or attack.
Oh yeah, so you get that extra defense dice too.
And that could be, I mean, honestly, that could be a really good like late game if your opponent's bringing medium and large base ships, or medium, like, hey, you kill off your opponent's small base ships if they brought any, or like the double IG-88 build, something like that, you know. And it's now you've got this one ship, and I'm assuming it's pretty cheap. You just throw that in there, you know, because you got the space, and you have your other ships that you know, me and my two Star Vipers or something like that. But I mean, late game, and there's only, let's say your opponent only has a medium and large space ship on there. That's pretty solid. I mean, that roll one additional dice for both attacking and defending. That's pretty clutch, you know.
Yeah, and that pilot itself is only 30 points. So it comes with a talent and a mod slot. So, you know, yeah, it's definitely a possibility of seeing that one out there.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a pretty good one.
And it's an initiative 3, so it's right there in the middle. So it's not really, you know, gonna move first or last. So
Well,
it's
in two late game, it's you know being a mining guild Tie fighter, it ignores asteroids. So you bring the three asteroids, and you're dancing around late game with a medium to large base ship. You know,
yeah, and if they're chasing you, you just fly straight over an asteroid. Now you get an extra defense dice if they shoot at you because you get that. Oh, but now you
and
get
so
this one here, so you
now you're
have
rolling five defense
so now
dice,
five defense dice, and they're rolling 3 attacks.
they're in
You know,
range 3. You're rolling
yeah,
6 defense dice.
yeah, even that would be freaking crazy.
Yeah, and you got an evade. You freaking bust out to range 3. Evade. You're you're not gonna die. It's
Yeah,
just you're just spending the time to get into a good position to actually shoot at the dude. That's all. That's the rest of the game. Is you just trying to
right.
kill him because he's not going to kill you.
Yeah, because even if he's like down to one hole, he could run and just keep that asteroid between two of you guys.
Yeah. Well,
And
and like list wise, it's like okay, you're that's only 30 points. You're going to have scarier stuff on your list that your opponent's probably going to go after. So more likely than not, this little dude is going to be their late game.
yeah,
You know, and especially if it's one of those ships or one of those lists like Chris builds, where it's like one of his ships goes down and his whole chain of events is now broken, and he
right.
can't get his whole like you know his action economy going, and you got this little gnat running around taking pot shots at you that you can't kill.
Right. And I mean, it's not like it's slow either because
It's a TIE
um,
fighter.
it's got a 5 straight. I mean, yeah, it's red, but still a 4
It
straight.
is red.
Yeah, a 5 straight is red. Or is it red?
I don't. I can't.
Yeah, it's red.
Oh,
That and a 3K turn. Those only 2 red moves they have. But they have all the twos they have the 2 bank and straight that's blue and a 3 straight that's blue. And everything else is
there it
white.
is.
But I mean it can't go too fast. I mean it can go too slow because the slowest straight maneuvers at 2 because the ones only has the left and right turn, but still
Yep.
one turn still can help you out.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so if it needed to get out of Dodge, it could definitely get out, regardless if there's an asteroid in the way.
Yep.
Because now I don't have to try to run around it or, try to run over it and hope I don't get that hit on that attack die roll. So I would take that damage. You don't even have to worry about that. Hold on just one second.
So
Yeah,
and
Jay.
then the what's it?
Sorry, my son was coming up and say goodnight for Just going to bed.
Okay. I was gonna say, however, you know, the over the asteroids part, the ignoring the asteroids is only while you move. So if you end up landing, so if you end up landing on an asteroid, you would still lose your action. Would it still trigger, or is it? You know what I'm saying?
While you move. Yeah, it's
While
just
you
as while
move.
you move. It's not you just ignore obstacles, period. I mean,
Yeah. So
I don't know, I have to see that one because while you move, um,
because now it's like, okay, does that trigger the bad things that happen on the rock because you landed there, but you moved to get there? So when you're moving, you're ignoring the obstacle.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's confusing.
yeah. I'm trying to pull up something else real quick and seeing what the wording
I
on that one is.
I mean, it totally makes sense. Like, hey, if you end up on the asteroid, then yeah, you can't shoot. Um, but then, like for
Well, I
yeah, for
mean,
like the bad things and stuff.
going back and looking at like what Dashes says, it says while you move, you ignore obstacles. So, hmm,
So just don't land on the asteroid.
yeah, just make sure you don't land on the asteroid.
But if you do, you don't get an action too, right? You you want to get an
Right,
asteroid and you want to be able to shoot.
yeah. So you don't want to
Okay.
land on an asteroid because you don't get to shoot if you're on an asteroid.
Right.
So, yeah. See, so the other, let's see, what's the other? Captain Seavor is the other pilot that for that mining guild tie, and he's in initiative 3. While you defend or perform an attack, before attack dice are rolled, if you are not in the enemy ship's bullseye, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, the enemy ship gains 1 jam token.
That's a dick pilot right there.
Yeah. It's funny, his title is Noisy Nuisance. That means he's an obnoxious dick.
Yes.
Um, it's interesting that they say that before dice are rolled. I mean, you would think that because then you might have them. They have to take out. They have to lose their focus. And what if they needed that focus to perform a secondary attack?
Lose your
Secondary weapon attack,
Yeah, isn't
or
it you
they
lose
can't even
your
get that focus to use to modify the dice.
yeah. Isn't they choose whether to lose like a green token or a target lock, right? That's jam.
Right? Yeah, but if they only have a focus, they
Yeah, no,
can't
I'm
move the
saying
target. Yeah,
or they need the target lock to shoot the missiles, and now
right.
either or. It's totally an awesome dick card.
Yeah, and this charge is he's got the little arrow, so he gets it back too. So it's once per round.
Oh, you'd be handing out them jam tokens. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
some of these scum pilots, man, they
all
can
right.
get you. I mean,
I
I
might
like
get
it.
this one.
Yeah, I mean, I like some of the mechanics of it. I might get. I mean, I already told Kayla. I mean, well, you didn't see the post I put on Facebook, and when put that picture of that the stuff is shipping now, right? And I said I'd like to put my pre-order of a first order conversion kit and a mining guild tie.
Mhm.
I mean, I wanted to get one because I love the way the model looks.
Yeah, that model looks awesome.
I like the paint job on it, and so I'm one of those people who likes to have one of every ship. So I try to get as many ships as I can.
It's definitely my favorite tie model so far, by far.
Yeah, I mean, of the look of it, yes. I know some guys I was talking to that doesn't like the notched. I think it was Darren or something. Somebody at that tournament was saying they didn't like the notch part of it. They said, "Oh, it just looks stupid." Um, it's more
I mean,
functional.
really having the whole part of the thing that's going to obstruct your sight to me seems a little more dumb.
Right. I mean, I agree. I think that modification, taking that part of the panel off, is a smarter idea because you open up your field of view.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, it just looks funky because it's at angles. You know, that's it. But still, I think I
I,
still like the
I
look of it.
like it like that. I love it. I love that notch thing. Like I like that a lot. I don't think it looks weird at all. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like that. I like the look of it. So I'm definitely going to be getting one.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. That's a cool ship. It's a
yeah,
cool it's got some good pilots in there for sure. A
yeah.
lot to
Even
what you can do with that.
because like they even have the generics where it's the the mining guild surveyor and the mining guild sentry. One in initiative 1 and 2 or 2 and 1 respectively. Um, is still pretty good because I mean that's like that initiative one is the one that's the really low cost, the 24 points.
Mhm.
So that definitely, um, yeah, if you're going to do a swarm, you're going to be having some of them, some of those 1 or 2s, maybe one of those other guys in there too.
Oh yeah.
Wow, yeah, yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I mean, the whole addition of all these other new ones that are coming out, because even in the next wave, no, wait, which one is it? When is the striker coming out? I think that was wave 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
um, but with that coming out, I mean that's the first real ship other than the the episode 4 Tie Fighter and Tie Advanced, that's being released. So I mean I was surprised that was the first one that they decided to put out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yep.
So when this new one comes out, and hopefully in a couple weeks we'll see it. Um,
The scum haters will return.
we'll still hate scum. Think of this one, just for shits and giggles, um, as a projection. When they have the Clone Wars come out, right?
Hmm.
High possibility there's going to be a Slave One.
I mean, I'm super weak on my Star Wars lore.
Well, because you think Episode 2, you saw, at the beginning of the Clone Wars, you saw Jango Fett.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Obi-Wan fighting, and Obi-Wan, his fighter comes with that whole um debris cloud where in that fight he jettisoned those spare part canisters.
Mm,
So, and that's part of the pack that it
yeah.
comes with. So if they're gonna go through all that, is later on we gonna get a Jango Fett and maybe a young Boba Fett? pilot.
Ooh.
You know, maybe like a Initiative 2,
Yeah, they've got to. I mean, come on, like that's too cool not to do.
but it would have to be under the Separatists.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be a scum fighter. But still, could you imagine a Slave One that's all nice and shiny?
Yeah,
You know,
that'd be
like it
cool.
looked, new in the movie instead
Another
of the
one
way
to,
you saw it in Empire Strikes Back.
and Darren would have to buy it,
Well, yeah,
add to his collection, his vast collection of slave ones.
yeah, which I don't understand. Well, I mean, he might not buy one because if he's not going to run that faction, I mean, it's going to be the same. He just paint it different. I mean, really, he could probably paint one of the ones he has now as all the nice looking one.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just such a possibility because there are so many different ships that were in the Clone Wars
Mhm.
that even when they did the cartoon series, that they could bring up, like even in a Y-wing, they had Y-wing bombers in the Clone Wars. They look different, um, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Um, Man, I have one somewhere around here. You know, me in my Star Wars room.
Yeah.
I know I have a little model of one um, of the Y-wing bombers, and it was like Anakin Skywalker's one, but I don't know where. I don't know where it is. You know, it's not like I only have a couple things in here to look through.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I got in trouble the other day because I ordered some stuff from Black Friday, and it's the time of year where I'm not supposed to order myself stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently, something I ordered was something that the wife had already bought for a present.
Nice.
Whoops, you know.
Like you got a white elephant gift for the tournament now.
Yeah, I might. I'll tell her that so maybe it'll make her happy.
Yeah.
She was so mad at me when I opened up this box. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this box from Think Geek, and it was I opened it up and all this stuff, and she just got so mad at me.
Nice.
She's like, "Don't you already have that?" Nope. I knew for a fact I didn't have it. She goes, "Yeah, you do." And no, I don't. And she goes, "Wait a second." She runs out of the room, goes to talk to my sons, comes back in and goes, "You're an ass." And I'm like, "Oops, oops. What else have you bought for yourself?" And I said, "Well, I told you about this coming, but I ordered myself one of those like full head masks of Vader's mask.
Oh yeah.
Where it has the part that goes around the neck and you click it together, and then it snaps together with the part that goes over the head, and then the dome part clicks
Nice.
on there. So I have all that coming. Um, yeah, and just a few other little things. I had to come clean and tell her everything I've bought, so I didn't get in trouble. Um, but yeah, so in the next couple weeks, hopefully this will be there. This new stuff will be here, so we can start playing with it. Especially since it'll all be legal stuff for the Crate Cup.
Yeah.
So when we decide to put our team together and go up to the Crate Cup and see how we do. I know Darren was the only one from our group that went last year, and he said he had a great time, and it was a great thing. It was a fun couple days. So hopefully this year we'll get a whole team together, and so hope everything works out because Kyle doesn't know if he's going to be in the area still.
Mhm.
Um, but so like you and me and Darren and Chris. Darren, I think, was on the fence on whether he's going to be able to go or not. But um, Yeah, we'll see.
Is it too early to call dibs on Scum?
No, probably, but who knows?
Me
We'll
and
talk.
Darren can fight
We'll
for
get
it.
it. Because at one point I thought they said something about we had to have all the squads or something. I mean, I don't know. I have to go sit down and read the whole rules and everything that they have already for it. Um, but I just want to make sure that we can bring all the factions because I'm sure we can come up with a pretty good first order list.
Yeah, I just want my Star Vipers, man.
Yeah. Hey, either you or I mean, yeah. If I was gonna say a scum player, I'd definitely be having you or Darren running it, especially if Kyle's not coming, because the three of you are all good scum players. So Chris. I mean, if we're gonna have a rebel list, I mean, Chris is definitely gonna have say on that one. Um, so
Yeah, I think
and
you got Imperial solid.
yeah, I think I got Imperial and even the first order. I think I'll have pretty good, but
Yeah,
Chris will have the resistance too because he's already drooling and stuff about the next ones coming out.
yeah,
Um, but you can guarantee you're going to see a lot of pose on there for the resistance. You know, so we just got to find ways to counter some of the stuff that he might be able to use. But it'll be interesting. We'll have to get together as a team and then start talking about what we could run and what we should run or what we should stay away from and all that stuff. So that'll be good. Um, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah. So I already know as soon as I can. I think next month is when I can get my tickets for Gen Con. That's in Indianapolis in August.
Oh man, are you planning
Yeah.
on driving that?
Yeah, I'm drive up there. I have a friend that was here working with me, and then she got a job up there. Um, and so she's like, I can come crash on her couch.
Nice.
So I'm like, sweet, I'll be there for the weekend. You
Yeah,
know,
that's awesome.
yeah, that'll be good too. Um, yeah, it'll be nice for us so we can start getting out and getting some of these other ones coming up, and we need to figure out how work on this with the hyperspace cups and stuff that are coming out. I know you hate those um, the rules on that so far.
Is yes.
But yeah, um, but figure out how we can do that so we can get some of our people through. I think we need to get Darren, since he's a TO, is still kind of confused on the new style away from the the regionals and nationals and all that stuff, how they change all that stuff. Even like the kits and stuff, they have wave kits and quarterly kit. I mean, they got different kits that they can order, and I think him and I need to sit down and go through that and make sure that we're all on the same page so we know we're getting the right price support for our tournaments and stuff.
Right.
You know, make sure we don't miss out on something else.
Right.
That everyone else might have had. So, but some of the prizes for those system opens and stuff that are coming are really awesome. If you have a
Yeah.
chance, you should go out there and look to see what the prize support is. They have an article on the website for that. Really
Okay.
cool. Um, some of it's just like, hey, you win this, and they have a thing where they have like a prize wall. Like for every win, you get 2 tickets to the prize wall. Every loss, you get 1. So even if you go in there and you play 6 rounds, you're guaranteed at least 6 tickets. You
Right.
know, as long as you finish. You know, you have to complete the games. I don't think you can like say, I forfeit this game. Give me my ticket.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's you actually have to play the game. So I think that they have and they have the prize wall stuff on there. I mean, there's like a new game mat even on the prize wall. So
Uh-huh.
some of the stuff is really cool. So you should go check that out. Um, but hopefully, um, something will come up next week and we can talk more about something new.
Yeah.
Um, if not, I got a few ideas that we could run for next week.
Okay.
But yeah, what we have a tournament coming up. What day was it that Darren
Uh,
put out?
the 15th.
15th.
Yep. A Saturday.
So what? 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today. Yep.
Yeah. So 15th have a tournament for that. We'll see how that one goes. That'll be fun too. Are you going to be there?
Yep.
Yeah, I know somebody was saying that they weren't going to be able to be there, but um, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so I think that we'll wrap this up and call it a night since I think we're almost at 2 hours. So um, thank you very much for joining me tonight,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
For sure.
Um, all right, so we'll see. Hopefully next week we can get together and do another one. And so a week's time we can come up with something.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I guess. And then we can just, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be going anywhere for Christmas.
I
No?
won't be. No.
Yeah, me either. So we could probably still do this throughout that because I don't know if anyone's taken off for the area at all.
Yeah.
So I don't see us
Here we-
taking a break for that. Um, yeah, definitely not me. I'm staying here for Christmas. In-laws are coming up for Christmas. So
Okay. All right.
that's easy for me. All right,
Yep.
man. Have a good night, and I guess we'll call this a wrap. So,
All right.
Viper Squadron, we're closing it out.